I mean, I'm a Manchester United fan and have been for 40 years of my life, but I'm disgusted, absolutely disgusted.
I think it comes down to money, greed.
Like, for me, the history of the Football League, not just the Premier League, but all the leagues, is now at risk. You know, it's a risk of just falling by the wayside.
They'll end up using the Premier League or the Carabao Cup, and they'll save all the best players for playing against Real Madrid or Barcelona. As Jurgen Klopp said in his quote from 2019, people will become very, very bored of Liverpool, Real Madrid.
Somebody who thinks he has to remind us that you have to earn the go to the Champions League, that's a joke.
Så fanns alltså the most important thing. They have to be respected.
We're going to look at everything that we can do with the football authorities to make sure that this doesn't go ahead.
Well, it tells us it's not correct. It's not right what they're trying to do. It's not competitive. It's a closed shop. You can't have a competition where no one else is allowed in.
I'm heartbroken because the owners of these teams have displayed the worst kind of greed I've ever seen in sport.
Yes, of course. They are businessmen. They don't care about football. They don't even watch their own team play. They don't even know their player because what they care is about numbers.
It's not a sport when the relation between the effort and the success, the effort and reward don't exist.
In a way, you feel betrayed. You feel betrayed, you feel angry and surprised. But when I concentrated, I said to myself, it's much better to know who is who. And I was sure on the Sunday morning that we will win and we will not allow this to happen.
For the Super League! 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 We want Libya! We want Libya! We want Libya! We want Libya! We want Libya!
I don't think I'd ever watch a match again if they go in it. I wouldn't want to anyway.
The big clubs now are going to the Super League and it's all about money, and it is now money first and fans second, and I just don't like that. That's not what football's supposed to be about.
All 6 English football clubs who initially said that they were taking part in the controversial European Super League are now withdrawing their involvement.
I think it's fantastic. You know, lots happen in life generally, I think, and things happen which almost seem that you have got no choice over or you can't do anything about. And I think it's just fantastic the football family, if you like, has come together, has expressed its frustration, expressed its anger, expressed its sadness of what's trying to happen. And credit to everybody that's made that point. And yeah, we're a little bit delayed, but we have no problem with that. The supporters are the most important thing. And the quicker they're back here, the quicker we've got full stadium, the better. And the quicker that we put this idea and we get back to competition, we get back to fighting for points, the better for everybody.
This is not Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, City, Spurs, Arsenal. This is John Henry. This is the Glazers. This is Stan Kroenke. This is Roman Abramovich, Daniel Levy, and Sheikh Mansour. That's who it is. It's not the clubs. Should these players be punished? Should the managers be punished? They shouldn't be. It's the owners of these football clubs, not the football clubs, who are the big problem. And that's why I think I'm calling for hopefully change at my club. Gary's doing the same. I mean, it looks like Ed Woodward's moved on. I think the Juventus guy, Tom Agnelli, has moved on as well. And I think there'll be more.
What's your reaction to the overnight news that the European Super League would appear to be very much off?
Very pleased. Very disappointed yesterday, very saddened, made my point, and feelings known, but very pleased.
How would you describe the atmosphere that's been around football for the last 3 days?
Very strange for the last 48, 72 hours. I think it's brought a lot of emotion from a lot of football people who have an idea of how the game should be and how competition should be. But hopefully back to normality now.
I don't like it any more than you do. I don't like to accept that the Premier League's funding by broadcasters like Sky and BT and the overseas deals are structured on the basis that 6 clubs really drive the economic value.
I want to say that these owners, and I hope they're coming to terms with it, but these so-called owners of these clubs need to realise that they're not the actual owners of the club. I know, yes, they have the front door keys, but they need to know they are just sitting tenants. That is all they are, and that is all they will ever be. Because the landlord of every club is the football fan.
We're happy for these multi-billionaire owners to come and own our club, but we want them to do what we say. That's not how they became billionaires. They make the decision based solely on finance. So we have to get the right balance.
We want to know the answers. It's all vague. We want to know why you went forward with this, how you thought that the fans would be okay with this. What was your reasons behind doing this? You can't just come in and run the institutions of this football club like Man United, Liverpool, all these big football clubs, the 6 clubs that we've got, and think you can just be a faceless person that just throws out little ideas here that you think are just going to be not going to affect anybody, but then all of a sudden you see the uproar and the turnout and the fallout that happens. And I commend them Chelsea fans that went to Chelsea and were going bananas. I was thinking I'd love to see more people doing that, because these people need to understand. But you can't just come out and give us a little blanket cover-up story.
The reason I think it unravelled so quickly is because these owners are not as powerful as they think. They thought they could do whatever they wanted, leave the Premier League if they had to, set up a rival European Super League, and they did not care about the consequences and what it was going to do to the rest of the English game and the rest of the game in Europe.
I've been a Chelsea fan for 50 years. If Chelsea have pulled out of the Super League tonight, as it's being rumoured, that's the best news I've ever had as a Chelsea fan. And I was in Munich when they won the Champions League, and this is better than that.